Welcome back to Global News, your go-to source for the biggest updates from the USA and across the globe. Today, we are counting down the top 10 most impactful news stories you need to know right now. Before we jump in, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss a world update. Let's get started with number 10. Today, first news. US ISPF names Rohit Kumar Singh as Global Value Chains Chair. The US-India Strategic Partnership Forum, US-ISPF, has appointed former Indian Secretary Rohit Kumar Singh as the chair of its Global Value Chains Committee and advisor to the board. An IAS officer of the 1989 batch, Singh brings decades of expertise in economic governance and digital transformation to the role. In his new position, Singh will focus on building resilient supply chains and enhancing regulatory alignment between global stakeholders. US ISPF President Mukesh Aghi praised Singh's leadership, noting his previous success in digitizing India's consumer grievance ecosystem using AI. Singh, an IIT and Harvard alumnus, aims to integrate India deeper into digital and trust-anchored global trade networks to boost manufacturing and GDP growth. Next news, Japan election. Sanae Takaichi secures historic landslide victory. In a major political shift, Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi and her Liberal Democratic Party (LDP) achieved a historic supermajority in the snap general election held on February 8, 2026. The LDP alone secured 316 seats, a post-war record, providing Takaichi with a powerful mandate to pursue her Japan First agenda. This decisive win allows the governing coalition to override legislative hurdles and push forward with significant defense and economic reforms. The victory is set to reshape the Indo-Pacific landscape as Takaichi signals a more hawkish stance toward regional security and deeper military cooperation with allies like the United States and India. Her agenda includes boosting military spending, securing semiconductor supply chains, and adopting a tougher position on territorial tensions. With this mandate, Takaichi cements her role as a central leader in navigating the complex geopolitical challenges of the modern era. Next news, KHAMENEI breaks 37-year tradition amid escalating US-Iran tensions. In a significant departure from historical protocol, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei missed the annual February 8 meeting with Air Force commanders for the first time in 37 years. Since assuming leadership in 1989, Khamenei has consistently attended this symbolic event, which commemorates the 1979 Pledge of Allegiance to the Islamic Republic's founder. This year, Chief of Staff Abdurrahim Musavi met with the commanders instead, fueling speculation regarding the supreme leader's absence. The move comes as tensions between Tehran and Washington reach a breaking point, with a massive US military buildup currently unfolding in the Gulf. Following threats of potential strikes from the Trump administration and memories of the 2025 Iran-Israel conflict, the region remains on high alert. With aircraft carriers and advanced fighter jets deployed nearby, the standoff over Tehran's missile program continues to shadow the Middle East. Next news, Trump-Xi summit, a potential shift toward a new global order. US President Donald Trump has announced that Chinese President Xi Jinping is expected to visit the White House later this year, signaling a potential thaw in relations between the world's two largest economies. This follows an excellent phone call on February 4, 2026, where both leaders emphasized maintaining stable ties despite a year defined by new tariffs and strategic competition. While Trump is scheduled to visit Beijing in April, Xi's return visit would mark his first trip to the US since 2023, raising questions about whether a new diplomatic era is beginning. The discussions covered critical issues including trade commitments for US energy and agriculture, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and tensions in Iran. Although a general trade ceasefire is in place, deep differences remain over Taiwan and nuclear disarmament. Analysts are divided on whether this renewed engagement represents a genuine new world order or a tactical pause in an unpredictable geopolitical landscape. As the two superpowers navigate this complex reset, the global community remains watchful of every move. Next news, M. Raja clinches gold in National Weightlifting Championships. Tamil Nadu's M. Raja delivered a stunning performance at the National Weightlifting Championships in Modinagar, securing the gold medal in the men's 65 kilograms category. The 26-year-old achieved a combined lift of 302 kilograms, featuring a 130 kilogram snatch and a 172 kilograms clean and jerk. His dominant display saw him outpace high-profile rivals, including Youth Olympic champion Jeremy Lal Ranunga. The competition saw Sharu Pesi from the Services Sports Control Board take silver with a 296 kilograms total, while a struggling Jeremy Lal Ranunga finished with bronze at 295 kilograms. Additionally, the event highlighted rising talent Arumugapandian Maharajan, who secured a double gold in the youth and junior categories. Raja's victory marks a significant milestone in his career, cementing his status among India's elite lifters. Next news: UK braces for widespread disruptions as flood warnings increase. Hundreds of flood warnings and alerts have been issued across the UK following days of continuous rainfall. As of Sunday afternoon, the Environment Agency reported 89 warnings where flooding is expected, and 223 alerts where it is possible, primarily impacting the southwest and the Midlands. Authorities warn that groundwater flooding is probable in Dorset, Wiltshire and West Sussex, while the River Severn and River Trent remain under close watch for the next 5 days. The Met Office has issued a yellow weather warning for rain starting Monday at noon, covering London, Wales and southern England. Forecasters expect up to 30 millimeters of rain in some areas, accompanied by strong winds that may disrupt power supplies and travel services. Residents are urged to prepare for likely property flooding and significant transportation delays as the heavy rain bands move east through Wednesday. Next news: Sikyong Penpa Tsering concludes high-level US visit to champion Tibetan cause. Sikyong Penpa Tsering wrapped up a series of high-level diplomatic engagements in Washington, D.C. on February 6th, focusing on countering Chinese disinformation and advocating for religious freedom. A key highlight was his meeting with Senator Jeff Merkley, the primary sponsor of the Resolve Tibet Act, to reinforce bipartisan support for Tibetan autonomy. Throughout the week, the Sikyong participated in the International Religious Freedom Conference and a fireside chat at the Atlantic Council, addressing critical issues such as democratic succession and the preservation of Tibetan identity. Accompanied by Representative Namgyal Chodop, the Sikyong also engaged with younger members of Congress to ensure long-term legislative backing for Tibet. These discussions underscored the urgent need for global cooperation against external narrative manipulation. Following the conclusion of his US tour, Penpa Tsering departed for Switzerland to attend the Geneva Forum 2026, where he will continue to press for human rights and genuine autonomy for the Tibetan people. Next news: UN chief condemns escalating violence and attacks in South Sudan. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has strongly condemned the surging violence in South Sudan, calling for an immediate halt to military operations. In a statement, he highlighted that nearly 10 million people, over two-thirds of the population, now require life-saving humanitarian aid. Recent attacks on healthcare facilities, including an airstrike on a Médecins Sans Frontières hospital and the destruction of a Save the Children center, have crippled essential services and put aid workers at grave risk. The UN reports that over 370,000 people have been displaced this year alone, exacerbated by a worsening cholera outbreak. Guterres urged all parties to de-escalate through dialogue and uphold international law to protect civilians. Despite a 2018 peace agreement, the world's youngest nation continues to struggle with political rivalry and ethnic violence, further hindering stability and recovery efforts. Next news: death toll rises to 13 after building collapse in Tripoli, Lebanon. The death toll from the tragic collapse of 2 residential buildings in the Lebanese city of Tripoli has climbed to 13. Rescue teams in the Bab al-Tabaneh neighborhood worked tirelessly through Monday, pulling 9 survivors from the wreckage, while continuing a desperate search for those still missing. Preliminary reports from Lebanon's national news agency suggest the buildings were home to at least 22 residents, leaving several individuals unaccounted for beneath the heavy debris. This disaster has sparked outrage and highlighted the dire state of infrastructure in Lebanon's second-largest city. Local officials, including Tripoli's municipal council head Abdelhamid Karameh, noted that aging structures and years of systemic neglect have led to several similar collapses in recent weeks. As the search operation continues, the community remains on edge, facing the grim reality of deteriorating urban safety amid ongoing national challenges. Next news: China issues stern warning to Japan following Takaichi's election victory. China has declared that its policy toward Japan remains consistent following Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's decisive election victory, yet warned of a resolute response to any reckless actions. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian urged Takaichi to withdraw previous remarks suggesting a Chinese attack on Taiwan could be a survival-threatening situation for Japan. Beijing, which claims sovereignty over Taiwan, remains highly sensitive to Tokyo's shifting defense posture and its potential military involvement in cross-strait issues. The diplomatic friction intensifies as Takaichi's new mandate allows her to move forward with significant tax cuts and increased military spending. While Japan aims to bolster its national security and regional presence, China maintains a firm stance on its territorial claims. This exchange underscores the deepening tensions in East Asia, with observers noting that the outcome of Japan's election will likely have a profound and lasting impact on the security dynamics and diplomatic relations between the two nations.